mistake was not fully understanding how Call of Cthulhu was supposed to work. The second mistake was throwing in the spooks a little too early, and everyone was like, "Let's get out of here," and that was the sensible answer, and I can't argue that.
It's like
So we got scared. We went home, and everything was all right.
Yep.
you
I
walk
mean,
to the
to be
doorstep
fair,
growls, "Get out!" So we did.
To be fair, Invictus Pulp would be hilarious. Fucking Herculean heroes fighting off with the mythos. Man, that is a cool idea. It's just not very, respectable. Okay, cool. It tells me to write down everyone's appearance and credit score rating because those are the initial how much people like you rolls, and I think that's hilarious.
Hmm.
Either you dress for success or you got a winning smile. Anyway, kids, as I mentioned before, you are in Boston, 1920s. You are part of a small club of occult investigators. It's a little pastime you've decided to put some time into with your teacher, Paul Prospero. Best way to describe Mr. Paul is a drunkard during the start of the Prohibition who's going to have a hard time going ahead. But what really defines him is that he was a successful detective. He has cases to his name, so hey, I mean, he does take a bit of a passive approach during most investigations, but, he always has sagely advice and a swig of his flask.
Oh,
which he will not tell you what was in that because it is illegal now.
Oh my goodness. It's now illegal for me to tell you, but you already know anyway. Marvelous. You are sitting out at Jimmy's Diner, the kind of place that serves exactly what you think it does: sloppy Jimmy's. Nice and greasy, extra tasty.
not.
You're waiting for him because, well, one of you, presumably the one who's rich enough to own a phone. I don't know how this man made a call, but he made one, and he called you. And he told you that he found a case, and they would like for you all to come over to the usual spot at the usual time, which, to be fair, is like asking someone to come for a meeting that they're already going to attend for an additional reason. Waiting.
I'm eating my sloppy jimmies with a knife and fork, as to be expected.
It's considered a.
You'd eat like an American with her hands.
This is my meat. I'm an American.
My face is buried in that sandwich.
Claire's dad is sitting in the corner complaining about. I don't know what people complain about in the 1920s. I guess like, man, the war is over. Now all the kids are gonna get soft.
I mean, I didn't want to say it, but like black people, Irish.
I mean, which year exactly is this?
1920-ish.
Yeah.
Irish.
Because if we're late 20s, then, there's that whole Great Depression thing starting up.
Well, we're at the start of the Roaring 20s. Everything's fine. We got a hip lady here who's a movie star and all that. We're in the roarings. Point is,
And I'm a former spy. I don't tell you guys that.
Mr. Prospero stumbles into the room, or into the seating area. He looks around as if for some reason you would be sitting at a different chair than you usually sit at, and then holds up a letter with one hand and goes, "Hey guys, look what I got."
Mr. Prosper, lovely to see you, darling. Been ages since we talked.
Ages.
What do you have?
I believe it's been like 2 months.
Man, I
Oh,
must have been
time
drinking a
flies,
lot.
man.
I'm pretty sure we saw each other last week. He looks at his hip flask like, wait. He shakes his head, looks back at you, and holds up a letter. Look at this. You know where we usually get those little checkout stints? Well, I got us a full-paying job.
As
That
long as it
is-
actually pays.
That is quite interesting news. Who would pay us?
Well, technically they're paying me. He tries to look as proud as he can, considering he has a 5 o'clock shadow. That doesn't look at least somewhat charming. 5 o'clock shadows kind of look charming. Doesn't look on him.
Bags on his eyes and 5 o'clock shadow.
Not. If you think he has bags on his eyes, then sure. Go ahead, imagine. Listen, Mr. Stephen Knott, he owns a lot of real estate around town. You might have seen his rentals. He owns a place, and he wants us to go and check it out, because apparently the people there have been complaining about mental problems and hauntings and stuff. Can you imagine? Anyway, he's going to pay us a good chunk of change if we check it out for him and make sure that it's got a good bill of health. He then slams the letter on the table and lets you give it a read of your own.
Oh.
Well, I guess that I shall start reading. After making sure there's no anthrax in the envelope.
Seem a little scared of letters.
To be fair, he seems to be in good health, so probably not. Also, I think anthrax was an invented thing, right?
Yeah.
Anthrax was discovered in 1875.
Cool. Then he.
Oh.
Well, that's just nice. Well, it takes a while to kick in, so well, he's fine
We are
now.
all dead.
Time delayed anthrax.
Actually, 20 to 80% die without treatment is not the most pessimistic survival chance. Although, holy shit, those. Oh man, those wounds. Ooh.
Wait, is that 25 for each of us?
Now,
Well, he did say he was the one being paid.
listen, I'm more than the sheriff. That's a big concern, but I'm pretty sure like two of you have more than enough money to cover yourselves, and
Yet, never mind the fun. And Mr. Hall, this is a chance for us to find a real certified spook.
you know what they say, you're not a professional until you get paid. And hey, if a guy is this desperate, all right, well, like I said, it's all up to you, kids. So, what do you think we should do? He leans over, like a teacher would expect an answer from his students.
We should go to the area, discreetly check out the entire position, set up on anything that may be unusual, place a routine investigatory cycle on it, and make sure that nobody does anything that could disrupt our investigations.
Well, it says we need to be careful, so that makes sense to me.
Well, I'll be waiting in the car while you deal with the fiddle faddle of clearing the area. I don't need my face out
come
there
on.
right now.
Come on, it's just a house. We shouldn't just
It is a
go
house
over
of a
there
man
right
who doesn't
away.
know the word successful.
Listen, if we're gonna tell this guy things are fine, we should at least have something a bit more comprehensive than we went over there and checked it out. I'm pretty sure he went over there and checked it out at some point.
What we really need to do is go into the house and just look around, see if there are any, ghosts, spooks, specters, poltergeists,
You know what
other
we're
fun things.
you guys just love forgetting the part where, it might be beneficial for us to check out some newspapers first. Make sure that we know what might be going on over there, because this guy seems to think it's some sort of supernatural thing. So why don't we just, check out a little bit? Take our time. He pays us per day. I mean, he ain't gonna be
Alright.
made of money forever, but we should do some advanced reading. Not
As
going
long as
to
we
a
aren't
cold
taking
and clammy place
advantage.
until we have to.
Claire, it's the 20s. Everybody took advantage of everybody. This was literally called the Gilded Age for a reason.
I point at you. I'm an honest man.
I probably should have showed you this earlier, but there is a section in the book that's like 90s lingo. It's great. Grifters on there.
I'm not a grifter. Gotta
Anyway.
Put that out there.
Personally, I'd strongly recommend that we, just check out the library a little bit, all the records. Make sure that once we can walk up to them and go, well, we checked the place out, we threw some holy water in the right places. Hey, maybe we'll even find something while we're there, actually, for realsies. We need to know what it is, Like I've. So anyway, it's up to you.
Well, I think it'd be a good idea to check the papers and, I guess any retail information on the property. See what it was sold for. See if there's any history.
Hey,
Some of
maybe
that spoken history.
Maybe it turns out that's just a septic tank under the building that's been leaking for years, and everyone's just going cuckoo from that.
Or it could be this wonderful new invention, Coca-Cola with real cocaine.
When did they stop putting cocaine in that?
I'm gonna check.
It's right around when the country started going to hell.
Listen,
Put it back in.
listen. Personally, again, this is Pulp 90, so I'm perfectly okay with this. No matter what
Look,
exactly.
Hank Hill can do with a nice cocaine soda, I think.
It was 1903 when they limited it.
Man, where are you supposed to get your daily supply of cocaine now?
I bet you for $25 we can buy us one.
I know some people.
I don't. I bet you do.
There was a cocaine wine.
But yeah, let's go to the books and the papers.
Yeah, there we go.
See what we-
I don't know why. Real quick, I was looking at my sheet. I don't know why, but for some reason I thought I was gonna find like a part on my page that said I can't read. I
Jesus
think I'm just.
Christ, Claire, there's established schools now.
I know, right? I'm an
They
idiot.
weren't mandatory yet, though.
Marvelous.
I seem like a okay guy.
Well, actually, the better idea would not be to go. Like, you're halfway there in the car when he goes, wait a minute. It's probably not going to be. We should probably go to, what's it called? What's it called again? You know where they put all the daily reports and stuff? This is something that nowadays is slowly stopping to be a thing, but at the time it was a very big source of information.
Public records.
We already mentioned that one, so not that one.
Oh. Shoot, what is it?
They're not government owned, but they sure keep track of a lot of information.
Yeah, snap fingers, Zal. What is it, Zal? Do the
Trying
smart.
to think of the name.
It's gone so out of use that none of us know what it is.
It's still in print.
The papers?
Newspapers?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that I mentioned the papers and the books.
And you would probably know of the Boston Globe. A daily newspaper of good repute, which is a very weird tagline to have for your newspaper, but hey, they wanted it.
At this point,
Well,
it's
they
been
only-
around 50 years.
If anything funny's
only
happened
put
there over the
true.
last few years, they should have something on it, right?
Probably, unless it's been expunged from the records or kept only on microfilm,
Hey,
which I
honestly,
don't think is a thing yet.
doesn't that just make the whole situation all the better if we stumble on a real mystery?
Well, hell yeah.
You head your way over to the Boston Globe. Marvelous. Well, at the front desk sits, honestly, the most sniveling little man you've seen in a long, long while. Scrunched up, ratty glasses on his eyes.
Ooh.
He sits, he almost, he just barely peeks out over the desk as he flicks through papers. All right, kids. What do you want?
All right. I guess I'll make my way to the front desk and say, "Excuse me." I'll tap a bell.
Yeah, what do you want?
Oh my god, he's an actual gremlin.
Yeah,
Oh my god, he's Warwick Davis.
we are a team of, private investigators, and we are currently looking into the business of a residence that, has some things to look
You know, you
into.
don't have to give our life stories. It's probably better if you don't. You
I'm
might...
just saying, has some things to look into and reasons to get the papers, old papers.
Oh, well, nah. I don't really feel like that kind of stuff. You ain't going nowhere today.
Are you sure? You
I'm
can't
the
do
doorman, and I say the door is closed.
Yes, but I am very much a doors open kind of gal. So what could I say?
I'm
to
gonna
get
try.
these
I'm gonna try to persuade.
If you no, I think Lady here is already throwing a charm into the ring. I think this is going to be our first roll of the die.
Show some clue.
It's
some
D100
cleavage.
rolled against your charm skill, since you're trying to be nice and friendly.
Ah.
You just have to roll under the big number.
So I need under 65.
Yes. For a quick
Why?
reference, the big number is your normal skill. That's just doing normal stuff. The smaller number is hard.
Wow, you failed hard.
Bella, is your charm skill 50 or higher?
65.
Good, because this is how fumbles work. If your skill is less than 50, a 96 to 100 is a critical failure, a fumble. Otherwise, if it's above 50, it's only
Cares
0,
what
0.
you're math.
So there is something else you can do, and that's called pushing a roll. Pushing a roll works as follows. You can't do it in combat or in some situations, but you can roll again. But if you fail, it goes horribly bad.
Do it.
I
He
mean,
might accuse you of being a succubus or something.
I have a I have a higher than 50% chance of getting it. Ah,
Oh my god.
Oh my god, Bella! You
I'm just
failed
gonna walk away.
harder.
Is the,
I'm
the
just
se-
gonna walk away.
I don't
He
think you're
just
gonna walk away from this.
She turns into a succubus.
This game's over. I quit.
Do you have any Hardy Boys?
Aw, man. Oh, poor.
Got some hard boys for you.
Would anyone like to quickly interject? You might be able to get something in as she's putting it on real firm, and this guy might be a homosexual with how he's resisting those charms.
Please, those don't exist yet. Confirmed
I mean,
bachelor.
Those.
Claire, do you have any good social skills before I slip in?
Hank Hill has a persuasion skill of 20.
Okay, I'm gonna slide in because I have a persuasion skill of 60.
There are 4 main skills for this: charm, intimidate, persuasion, and fast talk. Psychology, by the way, is like insight. It's to read someone.
Oh wait, I have an
Actually,
intimidate
pretty good
75.
social
I can be a
skills.
big boy at him.
Distract him.
At this point, the roll's already been pushed, so whatever happens next is probably going to involve you getting kicked out. So once one of you decided who's gonna try this, who's gonna like interject the fact that your friend is pushing all the wrong buttons,
and pushing them hard.
or maybe you could like slip him a bribe. I don't know.
He's a bad door man. He's a civil servant. And we need to use the civil services.
One of is privately owned.
Handsome.
Oh,
But Claire, roll.
roll.
Type R
D100.
slash R1D100.
Yep. I love it. /R space D100.
Oh, I'm sorry. What?
If you roll above 90, I'm honestly going to consider this game cursed, and I want you to plus your dice.
It's
Okay,
not.
Claire.
Slash R
R slash.
No,
No,
/R. You need
Slash R, yeah.
space D100.
I am
Jesus.
the same error mess. It's in the dice formula. The E100 did not produce a numeric
Oh,
outcome.
1D100.
Like this, Claire.
Oh,
We got a baby T Claire here who can't type
You gotta
words.
specify the number.
Claire, what are you doing again? You're intimidating? Ooh.
Yay!
Hey. Baby T Claire, what's your intimidation scores? The 3 of them.
75.
75. What's the second number?
Oh, okay. So the big number. Is
The small
75,
number on the
there's,
top.
like-
So there's 3 numbers in those boxes. There's the one number on the left, that's your skill. Then there's the number in the top right, that is your hard, and then below that is your extreme. So that's full, half, and then 1/5, I think.
All right. So the top number is 37, and the bottom number is 15.
In that case, you got an extreme success.
Well, yeah. I'm upset that he's disrespecting a lady, young man.
So
The
you
lady's
see him.
disrespecting him, Claire.
You see him about to tell this succubus that she's not going anywhere. And despite the fact that she's like really mucking this up because he doesn't like any of this, you probably like put your big meat hands on the table because you're huge. And he goes, "Oh,
big boy.
5th door on the left," and he points to a hallway to the left of him.
And a
You've
good
not.
day-
He was small before. He's like tiny, curled up in his seat.
He may be little, but I have a half a mind to kick his ass. So.
And as Jane walks by, flipping the umbrella on her shoulder, she looks over at whatever the other lady's name is. 'cause I forgot.
Francine
Francine.
Stacia.
Looks at Francine, dear. Please stop drooling on yourself. Because he sure wasn't.
As you go to the 5th door on the right, you're greeted by a nicer gentleman called Ruth Blake, the record keeper. He shows you down to a dusty, dark basement, filled to the brim with cabinets. There are lots of newspapers here. However, clippings are followed by street address. So you're
Hello.
easily able to find some pertinent information.
Well, hell yeah.
Let me just pull up the handout section and give you the handout for this area. It's an unpublished story regarding the building, just 2 years old.
is unpublished.
Or Ruth
So they
Blake is a
pulled
chick.
it.
God dang it, Baby Ruth. All right. Can the prettiest people in this, anyone here who has a 70 and up in appearance, roll me that, please?
My appearance.
This is
Uh,
mostly to see if Ruth feels particularly
Yeah.
interested in assisting you.
Mine's
Yeah,
75.
Same.
Then roll it for me,
I
please.
want to roll one.
Okay.
I think we both roll.
Now, you
There you
no, you can do it. Okay, cool. Because of your pretty looks, Ruth is like, man, you look like a. I wish I could age as gracefully as that, even though you probably look like a half a war veteran, considering your ex-occupation. But she does think that you look neat, and she's like, there is a slight problem. The records here don't really go back before 1878. There was a fire, so if the address you're looking for doesn't have that information, maybe you could find something at the library. Like, there are records of, I think, lawsuits and things there.
Well, that is the most helpful thing you could have done. I deeply appreciate it. Suppose we'll have to go and check there as well, since complete information is good in our line of work.
Anyway, your friend Mr. Paul Prosper is like, God, man, that could have gone real bad up there. Look at the story. I told you. So a little bit of prep work can do a lot of good.
It seems like we can help people if we figure this out.
I mean, this sounds like a real bad thing. So, hey, Hank, you always got that. By the way, Hank, your inventory sheet does mention that you own a big shotgun.
Oh yeah.
Technically speaking, you have that weapon to open unruly doors when you're trying to help people with like breaking things down and stuff. But it's usually in the trunk of your car. You're not carrying that with you.
Well, I'm not. I don't carry Peggy around with me where the police get upset.
So
It's your skeleton key.
Paul recommends that once we go to the house, maybe you should take that with you because it sounds like some of the weaker minds might go a little bit unruly, and you're unsure if he's talking about himself or if he's insulting one of you.
Well, self-defense is an American law.
Well, we are there on someone's behalf. Well, too bad that seems to be the only thing here written about the dang building. I'll be waiting outside where I can take a drink.
Also, I have a sledgehammer too, so I don't really need to use it on a door.
Also,
Oh.
I have spy tools so I can like pick locks.
You have any idea how hard it is to hit just the lock with a sledgehammer? It's pretty hard.
Is it? I mean, it's.
The handle is easy to hit. The lock, not so much.
Also, using a shotgun as a skeleton key is badass.
That too.
I mean, it is. Also, I'm gonna ask that so we keep going, not interrupting.
But I'll wear.
Claire, your character's technically married, I think. You're family man. You
Oh,
already
yeah,
have a
that-
Peggy in your life. Right.
Do you have a Bobby?
Kids, you have half a day left when you head over to the library. Or if you want to go to the Hall of Records first, it's up to you, really.
I'm going for
I mean-
the newspaper archives. Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I-
the archives with the lawsuits that I mentioned.
Yeah, that's the way we go for articles. More information is always a good idea.
Hall of Records it is, then. All right. Everyone gets to make me a library use roll, because that's a skill in this system.
Well, I mean, it is important skill, and I am not very good at this one, which is weird.
Hey.
Bro.
Sappy, what do I do if I don't have a number next to library
you-
skill?
So,
No, you do.
baby
There's a base
Claire,
number.
there is a number. That's the base number, as Zala mentioned. Every skill has a base number associated with it.
Oh, it's 20%.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's why we do D100s. They're percentiles. Nope, I don't succeed.
Unfortunately, you don't have the one guy who's really good at library use with you. Jesus.
Okay, Claire. Claire at least uses it right.
Okay, look. When this sort of thing happens with like book use, Hank bumps into the right thing. He bumps into it with his like flat butt.
Yeah, it's surprising that the himbo is the one who's
What the hell? This ain't about propane.
All right. I should have probably split this up into two handouts, but whatever. You guys are smart. You bump into some documents, I guess. A little combination of documents that mention the name of the person who was, some more mystery starts to unravel in front of your eyes.
Grantor of secrets. Item number 1 in the burial site of Walter Corp. Details to be found in relevant case, maintaining clarity of execution. Number 2, finances and estate. Blah, blah, blah. Closing of the church, institution, church of our Lord, grantor of secrets. 1912, XXXX.
That sounds like a cult.
I mean, major church.
Paul in the back's like, we got a cult. We got insane people running around causing entry.
And mysterious sickness.
This is a hell of a lot better than the usual. I got scared by my wooden boards.
Wow, this is so old that they actually used NB on it.
What's that mean?
Well, technically we use NB a lot here in the Netherlands. I didn't know it was outdated in America.
What's it mean for you?
Nota bene. It's like an addition.
Yep, it is the Latin phrase for note well, which means important.
Oh.
It's not very
Well, that's
commonly
neat.
used, but it is important to use.
Does anyone here have law skill?
I might. Let me check.
I'm gonna
have
assume
a
I
0.5%.
don't.
I don't.
Again,
None of us are lawyers.
well, in that case, your friend Paul Prosperos got you covered. It does kind of pinch in that, just, if you guys feel like you can handle it, if it's expunged from the public records, it might still have some in the police station. Just saying.
I mean, our dear Mr. Hall seems to be leading the way on all these grand adventures, so I believe in our dear Mr. Hall if he wants to go.
Well, that's your first day of investigating.
Mhm.
You found out quite some clues. The next day, you all meet up at the diner again because, hey, it's weekend. It started on Friday, it's now Saturday. You all got time for
I
this?
need me a sloppy Jimmy.
You had a nice lunch last time. Mr. Paul shows up. All right, where are we going? He settles in nice and comfy. You know what they are. You know what those dining chairs are like. It's those big puffy ones.
Oh,
Feeling a little more confident today, so going to the police records, it could be fine seeing how these courts, handled.
What, you want to redeem yourself after being unable to convince the rat man?
After almost making the rat man pull a gun.
Yes, scabbers.
We're both in a very sour mood today.
Cool.
I'm
Cool,
feeling
cool,
pretty
cool.
good.
Well, I'm going where you're going. I'm just the teacher, not the answer sheet.
That's a deep phrase.
When you mention that, he tries to play it up a bit, You know how it goes.
Puffs out his chest.
You head on over to the central police station, where they archive all the paper. Because guess what? It's a time where it's all in fucking paper.
I mean, it still kind of is.
So you're going to have to go into another dusty basement and deal with that. All right. The nice lady at the desk, besides whom sits a guy who could probably reach over the desk despite sitting like a yard away. He could reach over and grab you if he wanted to. So, no funny business. Anyway, the nice little lady pricks up, and she has the biggest smile like she's running a fancy hotel and goes, "Hello. Welcome to the Boston Central Police Station. How may I help you?"
Hi, I'm Francine Pistachio. And today I'm a private investigator, but you may know me for my other works. Today I would like to look into some records that felt the Walter Corbett.
Oh, I'm
Uh,
sorry, miss, but those are technically not considered for public access unless you happen to be an attorney of some kind.
we have the finest attorney with us, right, Mr. Hall?
Are you trying to convince him that he's an attorney?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try to come in.
Hey, if you're good with fast talk, you can try it.
I have
I got it.
55.
I got a 60.
Hank
but-
will scratch himself.
Okay. I'll let you decide if you want to interrupt or want to let them see if they can pull this one off.
Go ahead. I just want to try to do this.
Uh,
But now yours is a little higher. Go ahead.
I shall fast on and get another 90.
Do it.
Come on, Bella. Oof.
Ah,
Man, that would have been almost. It would have been just a success for the other lady. You somehow like this nice lady. You don't know if she's just humoring you or if she's just like not sure. Because I don't think Hank looks like a lawyer. Just saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's dressed down today. It's his day off.
Oh.
What? He's helping with our case.
Okay then. Well, if you just sit down for a moment, I'll ask one of the local officers to help you out. She points at a small chair nearby. There's the scruffiest man you've ever seen, who was like, first time.
No,
Mhm.
Jane says extremely flatly.
After a bit, an officer comes and picks you up. You spend a good portion of your day looking through the stuff. Primarily because even with this clerk, like asking the right questions is kind of difficult. You throw around like this and that and this and that, and eventually you do get something. However, they didn't check the papers because this stuff is kind of deep. You receive a whole big document that's about investigating this particular church that you found up.
Oh, hey, the church.
Think we should go look at this church.
Yeah, this church pops up a lot.
Man, Paul's just like, look at this, man. This whole thing's turning into quite the mystery, huh?
Indeed.
We should probably bring some salt just in case a ghost starts haunting us. And a gun.
Have we ever? I mean, I have a gun.
He points at like the last tidbit, like the last record at the bottom, like just saying we might run into trouble.
Well, from the way this police raid looked, there was a lot of trouble. I might need to bring out Peggy.
Mm-hmm.
We should probably go and investigate the chapel first.
Yeah, we
Might
got
be
time.
clues there.
We got enough time. We can do that today.
Yeah, let's go by the chapel. I believe that is a good location.
Going to the check.
Well, either way, as you leave, he like waves at some of the people that he probably knows, like, "Hey guys." But considering how scruffy he's looking, it's like, oh man, I can't believe he's here. You make your way over to yonder neighborhood, Yonderly. Gosh, where's the section? Here we go. Gosh. Let me read to you this fine read aloud. What is left of the old church stands at the end of a crooked, dingy street. The ruins are weathered and overgrown with greenery. By the way, I did notice this the first time, so I'll mention this to you. It specifically mentioned like the handout on this is pretty bad because the way it's set up is it mentions gunplay or fire. So I was like, oh, they mean gunfire. No, they mean gunplay, and there was a fire.
Oh.
And I had to translate that into this thing, and I still made the mistake. Although I did mention later that a fire happened, so
Oh.
I like a firefight broke out, and then later a fire broke out. Good word choice there, Buckaroo. God damn it. Anyway, the ruins are weathered and overgrown with greenery. That the graying stone rubble seems more like natural stone than a formation and foundation. You pass a slumping wall bearing white painted symbols, appearing freshly swabbed. 3 Ys, that is the letter Y, arranged in a triangle so that the top elements of each Y touch the other 2 Ys. In the center, so created, is a painted staring eye. I'm going to show you that right now because I made a handout of it because I'm smart. Where is it?
Yes.
There it is.
That doesn't look like no Jesus.
I told you, this appears to be a cult. Or hobos. They do have that thing that they do often.
Not only does this not feel like Jesus, looking at it gives you a tickling your forehead. Like a slow growing headache. Never gets painful, but it does like itch weird.
I don't like it. Hank looks away.
Paul's sitting over at the side and goes, a fire usually doesn't burn down the basement.
True, though Jane seems a little iffy about a structurally compromised building.
Hank Hill pulls out a sledgehammer. I think we'll be okay.
I think that is a poor decision right there.
Well, once you're like looking at this proper, there is a foundation of wooden boards. There's moss and stuff growing all over it, but Hank is a construction man. He knows wood and planks when he sees them. Wink.
But is there a
Exactly.
walk to the basement?
That would take a little bit of searching around. A spot hidden roll, in fact.
I am actually extremely good at those.
Ooh, excuse me.
Oh, bring us home.
I would also like a luck roll from you as you're doing this.
So I succeed that because mine is 75.
Yeah, because you know how to look out for things. Roll me a luck check too. This is important.
Let me go check my luck stat. Where is my luck stat? Do I have a stat for that? Okay, there it is.
Yeah, it's at the top. It's not a particular skill, but it is the thing you have.
Okay. Mine's at 80.
Ooh.
You succeed your luck roll. In fact, I'm pretty sure that's technically considered a critical success. I don't know. The luck rolls are just flat rolls. They are similar to sanity. Really only happen on one level. As you walk around, part of the floor collapses behind you. You do find, however, a small lock. It used to be a padlock, but it's rusted to all hell because it's exposed to the elements and all that. And it's like right next to the rock, so like extra range tips on top of it. You're pretty sure a good smack from a hammer would break it. Or it could just break the thing. And there are these little stubs sticking out. There's a ladder here. You could climb down here probably quite safely, considering that unlike the rest of the wood, that ladder's probably been covered for a while.
Shit doesn't exist at this point, Claire.
What should I say then for this? Just American good approved of construction.
Please, there were no construction rules.
It's covered in scars from faulty construction. Yeah.
Anyway, Hank, would you do the honors?
You
You
have
said
a
there's a lot.
crowbar, right?
I have a sledgehammer.
What?
That's all I need.
what do I
Paul puts up his thumb from a distance and goes, I'll keep a lookout just so no one, does anything.
Why does this guy feel like such a Big Lebowski character? Anyway,
You know
so
that
do
he's
I
going to
roll,
go insane and shoot you in the back.
I know. So do I roll a D100 for the
Nope.
sledgehammer?
No, like I said, it's rusted enough that you can just do this. No hassle here.
I'll get a solid whack.
Good solid whack. Let's see. This area was originally reached by a... Okay, no. See, for some reason the assumption is that you fall down here and no one actually just goes to look for the bottom area, so here we go. Within this room, next to a cabinet, are two skeletons dressed in tattered silk robes. Can you roll me a sanity check, everyone who's down there? Sanity check works as follows. You roll against your sanity score, your current sanity score.
5. I failed.
Cool.
So did
Nailed it.
Bella is the...
Skeletons scare me.
Bella's fine Toots is the only person who manages to keep their sanity, their wits about them. Everyone else sees a corpse. I need to look up how much a corpse actually spooks people, because there's actually a specific number for that. The fact is there are two skeletons here, and seeing two skeletons sit there, ooh, gives you a mighty fine startle. Although I think our nice lady spy would probably be somewhat resistant to this, because
I've seen worse.
Although skeletons are a bit different. Let's see. A corpse or body part is a 1d3, technically. Cool. I'll roll
I've
that for you.
killed people.
Then I'll say for you that it's a minimum sanity loss. For you it's 1. For Hank it's 2. Hank, you're like, whoa. Fun fact. Here's something fun you're going to learn, and that's going to make you go, wow, this is why the Mythos is so hard to fight. Whenever you fail a sanity check and you take any sanity loss at all, one action for 1 round, I say what you do. As fear overtakes you, and you have a flighty response to the circumstances. Hank, you drop your hammer, almost hitting yourself in the foot. Lady Spy, I assume you're not holding anything, but you do stumble over some of the slippery moss on the ground. And basically hear Hank's hammer swoosh past your head.
Boom. Damn
Meanwhile,
it, man.
I assume the reason that the actress is unaffected is because she's seen skeleton props.
She thinks it's fake.
those are foam.
You lie about
or
that,
a
but
skeleton
but fun fact, there is a rule in this game about if you read a mythos tome, like something that describes the mythos, and you don't believe it, you're a non-believer, That's fine. But I think if at any point you lose sanity, or no, wait, if at any point you believe in it again, all the sanity loss from all the books you've read so far just happens at once, which is hilarious.
I think she's more comparing it to life in the manner in which I died. Cause
Anyway, there's some skeletons down here, and a cabinet.
well, since it's your turn to drool all over yourself, I'll examine the bodies of these skeletons.
I was
I like to look back and
startled.
forth.
Their silken robes are magnificent. There's something about them, but the symbols that have been painted, embroidered, they're just on it. Give you the same kind of feeling, but more directed and focused. You feel like you want to look at it, like you'd learn something, but at the same time, it makes you feel uneasy in a weird way. Other than that, these guys look like they probably died from asphyxiation or something, because their body doesn't. The skeletons are in decent shape. All the bones are in place.
Can I investigate the bones to see if any of the vertebrae were out of alignment, which would indicate strangulation or neck snapping?
Now,
which I've done.
Considering these are old skeletons, what would be appropriate here? I guess medicine, technically.
Is there a murder check?
I think it's just
Murder check.
If you can find a forensic skill, sure. But
I wish there was one.
I mean, they're in chairs, so you probably, if they were strangled, they would have fallen out of their chairs or something. Also, there's two of them, so that implies there must have been two people strangling, or they strangled. Man, what a
They
weird.
strangled each other.
This
My God.
This train of thought is unsettling you.
Maybe spot hidden. I don't know.
You
I
can
was
roll me
just
spot.
going to investigate the area.
You can roll me spot hidden if you want to.
Yeah, those little details.
You find a
Okay.
book. You find a musty old journal that's under the cabinet. There is the name Walter Corbett.
That name's familiar.
No, yeah. Let's see. Okay, yeah. There's the journal that falls to pieces in your hands. Excuse me. There's two books here. In accordance with his wishes. Oh, here we go. This section with the monster of Walter Corbett specifically. In accordance, you have to put some scraps together with his wishes and with the wishes of the one that waits in the dark. To be buried in the basement of his house.
Oh.
Alongside it lies an enormous volume. It's handwritten. It's rotten for the most part and can't be read too well, but hey, it's called Liber Ivonis. Or you think what? Does anybody speak Latin?
I speak German.
I speak American.
Again, Egghead technically speaks Latin, but this book is not that relevant. It will take you a while to do it. Like 3 hours, and you need to know Latin, but nah.
Oh wait, I speak a tiny bit of Spanish.
Because, you work with immigrants from time to time.
So Italian.
Yeah, so you would know one of the romantic languages a little bit.
Also, I think my language isn't written down right.
Well, you always are your native tongue. You're as good as your education level is.
It's a 73 supposed to be in the big number? Because it's in the place where I assume the language is. So
The small text under the language, that's where you put the language itself.
yeah. So I assume my language is actually at 73.
I need to pull up your sheet for this. Give me 5 seconds. Hall McCormick. Why is this so slow? Hank, your education is 50. Your proficiency with English should be 50. Your proficiency with language other, Spanish, should be 10.
Yep.
Oh, wait, it's Bella, right? That's complaining.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, Bella.
See, Bella,
I'm highly
I'm
educated.
stupid. I'm stupid. I don't have a big brain. I have a little brain, just like Claire.
Yeah, Claire, guess what my education stat is?
I only lose 20% of my brain.
Yeah, how much?
Yeah, I forgot
80.
I forgot that one down properly, Bella. Sorry.
Alright,
Yeah, the
so
big
I'll put
number should
down-
be over there. Yeah, you generally don't roll languages when you're above 50, which most people tend to be. But hey,
Yeah, like I'm 50 in German.
Well,
because I lived in Germany, according to my backstory.
you were there for a while, yes. You shook some hands.
And I killed a person.
Probably a few.
Well, at least one of them's listed in my backstory.
That's the fun part.
I would have taken that guy's life if I didn't care about him.
Well, you found a cool old book. Maybe at some point you can find someone to read it, but this book looks older than what you're trying to investigate.
Might be useful later, though.
We'll hold on to that. It might be related to this mystery.
There doesn't seem to be much else here. The fire cleared out most of it, and this cabinet only seems to have escaped because it's like under the dirt ceiling, so the fire couldn't get to it easily.
Do you think we should tell the police that we found some dead bodies?
I mean, it'd be relevant, but I'm pretty sure the case is old at this point.
Yeah, but they probably would want to inter the bodies.
They might take our own investigation away from us, though.
We'll tell them after we check the house.
All right, kids. That's one more day spent. You can
20
go.
bucks.
You can go to the library if you want to and check it out, or maybe you can check out the neighborhood, or you can go to the house because Paul Prospero himself says, I think we got enough to handle this, but if you guys think you want to do more and be nice and thorough, that's your style. I'm just here to make sure you don't make a big mistake and anger the police or something. You know the deal.
I
Oh,
think we got enough to go into the house.
I think we're house ready.
But all right. Don't forget, there might be some criminal there hiding out or something, or worse, might be a ghost, or worse, might be a whole goddamn cult in there.
Well, I got my sapphire. Mr. Hall has his Peggy, and
I'm ready.
Jane is ready.
She's ready. She's.
I can never read that gal.
That takes a lot of work.
You arrive at the old Corbett place. The brick building is overshadowed by taller, newer office buildings on either side. This entire building block used to be residential, but has been converted into office. This is the only residential building around. The house fronts the street. In the rear are overgrown plantings and half-collapsed arbor. Access to the rear exists on either side of the residence. What? Here we go. Studying the house. Any observer will be impressed by the way the house seems to withdraw into the shadows of the flanking buildings, and how blank curtains hide all understanding of what lies within. Essentially, they're hit on their privacy.
Oh.
Mr. Prospero follows you behind and says, well, time to take a look around, I guess.
Time to pop on in.
We got a front door, we got a back door.
I'm going to go encase them. Look at the front and the back.
Checking the
See what
front
kind of
door.
locks we're dealing with.
The front door has a lock. That much you can tell. But as you peek through the crack, you can also tell that there are like 4 quite new bolt locks on it.
Deadbolts. Those are always frustrating. I'll need to go check the back, see if there's an entrance. Or windows.
Okay, let's check the back. I like that it mentions the front door, but if I want to know what's up with the back door, I gotta go to room number 3. So the back door also seems to have 2 locks and 3 bolts. Now once you check through the crack.
Oh, dang.
The back door, by the way, is not actually in the physical back. It's like on the left side, but in the back.
What about windows?
The windows are all curtained. Once you give them a good check, you find that they are nailed shut from the inside.
This place is quite difficult to get into.
In fact, I think
Wait, do we have a key?
I think you were given a key. Yeah, the guy gave
Yeah,
you
it
the
said
key
that
to
in
check
the
it
first
out.
handout.
Cool. If you give me a moment, I'm gonna turn on the turn off token vision, and I'm just gonna draw out what the house approximately. Oh, cool. Now I just don't know where the hell the house is. Cool. Thanks. I'm just gonna draw out like a little. I wish I could have this just snap to grid. I'm just gonna draw a little diagram of what this place looks like so far. You got a little room here. That's where the back door is located. That's like here. The front door is like here-ish. Can you see that? By the way.
Yes,
I can see.
the red squares.
Cool. Then this is approximately what you're looking at in terms of the house. It's a long house. You have a key. You can open either door, technically. The bolts don't seem to be in their latches, so that'll be fine.
Okay.
And
Well, we don't have to break
I'm
the door
gonna-
down. That's good.
Yeah, I don't have to pick the lock either. Okay. Well, we may as well take the front door.
Taking the front door, you are presented with a large hallway. I wish that I could set the snap to grid to be a little bit more aggressive on this, but I can't. At the end, okay, so there's some doors over here, some chambers up north. Okay, so there's a door here, there's a door here. There is a double door here. Ain't that just hella fancy?
It is a fancy place for fancy lads.
There is a door back here. There is a door over here. There's a door over here too. Let me just get that one set up. And then there is what seems to be a stair in the back. So make of that what you want, kids.
Okay, standard procedure time. We should check each room as a unit, since there's only 3 of us. We can't properly split up.
Well, we probably shouldn't split up.
Well, you
if
have
we-
Mr. Paul with you. He can go with one of you.
Hey.
Yes, but I feel
Paul.
like it'd be best to keep the group together. In case we run into something.
A spookum gookum.
An armed priest who's been
Yes,
hiding out
that-
here for 2 years.
Serial killer? I don't know.
I mean, considering he was convicted of 5 murders, 2nd degree.
Wait, 2nd degree?
I thought the paper mentioned that.
Yeah, I'm wondering why there's 2nd degree murder.
I don't know what a 2nd degree murder is either, and it gets me.
Basically, 2nd degree murder is not premeditated.
There we go.
It's-
2nd degree murder is generally defined as an intentional murder that lacks premeditation, is intended to only cause bodily harm, and demonstrates an extreme indifference to human life. I love that, extreme indifference to human life.
Basically, you go nuts and you attack someone.
Yeah, one of those
Where
like
1st degree is, you see that guy there? I followed him for 3 days and then shot him in the back of the head.
So yes, dangerous, insane man, priest man too. Ooh. Which realm
3rd
would you
degree
like to
is
check out,
manslaughter.
kids and cadets?
The first one on the right's where Jane's gonna go for.
It's the large living room. Allow me to just... Technically, this isn't 100% correct, but I'm drawing this on the whim here. There's a map, but that map reveals stuff that I don't want you to know yet. There are
Also,
windows...
everyone notices she is suddenly holding a Luger.
the heck?
The
Oh,
house...
yeah, I probably brought.
The house is dark. The only reason you can see anything is that there are these remote cracks of light, and the nails aren't perfect, and all the doors are slightly ajar. The whole
that's
place...
Flashlight.
The whole place smells musty and old, and anyone with a keen sense of smell can... Rats. Rotting food. That smells like a body. Or maybe it's just like a dead rat somewhere.
Something died
The
here.
living room has the conventional furnishings. A radio, a couch, stuffed chairs. Shelves laden with gewgaws. Which, by the way, thank you, book, for teaching me the word gewgaw. It's great.
Mhm.
It's random
That is a
paraphernalia, by the
word
way.
I was not even aware of.
Things that are supposed to look flashy, like just miscellaneous, but it's meant to look cool. There's an
I don't know
unusual
what-
quantity of crosses, images of the Virgin Mary, and other Catholic artifacts around the room as well.
I think that's the party token.
At this, yeah, this token's supposed to represent where the party is hanging out.
Oh, okay.
You see that even Mr. Paul's like starting to get a little unnerved as he takes out his own trusty weapon, which is a magnificent 44 Magnum. You pretty sure that's not something he kept from his job.
I feel kind of underdressed with your fancy little little guns.
He bites his lower lip as the house seems to creak to welcome you to the living room.
Well, let's see here.
Well, flashlight out.
Yep. Click, click.
You're like,
Are there lights?
no. Well, there are no lights
Power's
there.
probably out.
I assume no one's paying the bill.
No one's paying the bill. Over to the right, like further east in the house, is the dining room. Beyond that, you can see a kitchen of sorts. In fact,
Do we see?
shining your flashlight across it, the dining room has a long mahogany table. There's a built-in sideboard and 7 chairs. 3 places are set but unused. Scrapes of rice soup rot in a tureen.
Mm.
Also one of those words that I didn't know for a while. Tureen is one of those serving dishes for soup.
Oh.
That might be why the air's so. Blech.
Ugh.
Every step you take, even though there's carpeting, the echoey wooden creaks. Ooh.
This place is creepy.
Where do you want to go, kids?
It is.
Stand in the living room. I'm just,
Well, I'm gonna just take a quick look around it. The others can start to move on if they wish.
if you give me 5 seconds, I want to turn on some things.
I'm gonna eye around and see if we see that that symbol, that weird symbol anywhere.
I'm going to give you guys permission to draw. There we go.
Okay.
Now you guys can draw on the map if you want to.
All right.
So you can make notes like this is the living room, this is a hallway, this is a closet. Okay, so where are you going?
I'm just checking the living room. Claire's looking for the symbol.
Looking around, you
Yeah,
don't. Well, I don't want to be that guy, but maybe you should check out when Mr. Corbett was buried, aka when someone else might have acquired his property.
Which would be the basement.
Oh no, it doesn't mention. Okay, cool, great, fine. No, when he was buried.
Oh, wait.
So as in, because if you read the paper, that unpublished story, it mentions that like a little while, like in 1938, it was in 1835 was built. In 1880, a new family moved in. So this guy affiliated with the church wasn't around for a while, so any symbols probably got erased. You know, they give you a headache. You're not gonna rent something out that gives people headaches.
That's a good point.
Paul brings up this point for you so that you all think clearly. By the way, these are not doors. The section connecting the living room, the kitchen, and all, they are all just
Arches.
arches. Yes, they just like you pass through.
Open floor plan.
It's very delightful. Kitchen's not actually that big, but I'm drawing a sketch, good sirs.
Note not to scale.
I am currently.
Well, while they check the kitchen, I'm gonna go check those small rooms across the hall.
Okay,
You know,
cool.
they probably won't take long to investigate.
The room on the most left is a storage room. It's filled with boxes and junk, rusted water tanks, and old bicycles. At the end of the room is a cupboard, boarded shut.
Wait, what's shut?
Cupboard at the right end of the room. Like the leftmost top room.
Mr. Hill,
Yes.
I could use your construction skill to open something that is nailed shut.
I'm pretty sure he can just open it for you. It's not that much effort was taken.
I always open a door for a lady.
Whoa.
Oh, that's what I. That's
You know what? You
like
can
the
roll me
open
some
door.
strength. How about that? Roll me your strength ability.
All right. Oops.
You open up the cabinet.
And yeah, I popped that open. I have 85
Inside
strength.
are 3. Oh wait, here we go. There's the flyleaf on the phone. There are 3 books in here, and they're all written by Mr. Corbett. They're diaries of some sorts. They seem to be in English, but they're all phrased weirdly. Not like they're old-timey-wimey, but more like he has a weird way of writing. In the meantime, Mr. Prospero is standing with Toots in the living room. Was it?
We're just. Huh?
You and Paul Prospero are standing in the living room, right? Because Hank and the other lady went to the small storage chamber, right?
Well, I was going from between living room and dining room, just look around to see if anything stands out.
Mr. Prospero will be there with you. As you walk into the room, as I mentioned, there is like this serving dish that's filled with rotting rice soup remains that not even the rats would be interested in.
Yeah.
He takes a look at it, pretends to dip his finger in, and goes, "It's like fine wine, huh?"
Jesus Christ.
No, he pretends to dip. Keyword pretend.
I know, it's just his voice. I love it.
This whole place is.
Mr. Prospero. Please.
I know, but I'm just trying. Listen, it's a dark, dingy room. Anything can happen at any moment. Just trying to make light to keep y'all out of your heads. You know, people get in their own heads too much when they're like, and then you hear this happening upstairs, thumping.
Well,
There's something up there. That ain't a rat.
Nobody should
and
be in
here I
there.
was hoping it was a rat. Surprise, surprise. I shall walk towards the
Kitchen. Or you're
yeah.
gonna walk back to your friends.
I'll walk into the kitchen to see if like I hear the sound again.
Let's
The,
get
the
top.
the sound was just a one-off thing. But here we go. The kitchen has an icebox, a wood-fed stove, oven, meager larder. There are some cans in there that might be edible, but the rest is all like either eaten by rats or terrible. Ugh. The sound has gone away though. It was just this one-off, like someone walking around.
Did we hear
Uh,
that? Me and
Yeah, you probably heard that too, but like more distant because it was above the dining room.
I'll look at the
So what I'm gonna do
whole side.
while they're doing that, I'm just gonna put these books in the hallway so we can withdraw them if we need to.
Yes. If you need to investigate that, but for now, what do you want to do, kids? Good old Hank and the associate.
Well, let's go check the next room since there's one we haven't gotten to yet.
The room next to it is a second
Let's
storage room.
go.
There's some old furniture stored here, like spare furniture in case you got guests over. It might be broken enough to fuel a wood stove. There's like a broken wood stove full of holes because of rust. Ugh. So that makes 2 storage rooms. Would you like to go straight to room number 3?
No point in checking this one out.
Third room has the back door and is a mudroom, which is where overcoats, galoshes, hats, umbrellas, and all kinds of things are here. There's also several bags of coal in the room, and there's a freestanding stove you could use to warm it up, to dry out your coats. The door here is secured with 3 bolts and 2 locks. Oof.
I'm gonna unlock them in case we need to beat in hasty retreat.
Marvelous. Handsome. Love it. You two
What
now
you doing
hear
over
this stomping noise above you, going off towards the west, upstairs.
Instead of saying something, Jane holds her hand up, points at her gun, points at Hank, and presumably his gun.
Hank, are you gonna shoot me? Lifts his gun up.
And she's gonna carefully walk towards the stairs.
Since the doors are slightly ajar, Paul Prospero sees Hank and all in the pats tuts and goes, maybe we should stick together, huh? Well, situation
yes.
is starting to unnerve me a little bit.
These sounds are very, I don't know what that looks.
Cool. So you want to go upstairs, huh, kids? Think you can handle that? Think you can handle going up 1 flight of stairs? Roll me a con
Yes,
check,
you
you
can.
losers!
These stairs are too hard.
I shouldn't have skipped leg day. Anyway,
These old dime
there
stairs.
are 4. Oh, whoa! I don't want to. Please unselect. There are 4 rooms upstairs. 3 big rooms, 1 like baby room, where we keep Claire. Going up the stairs, you see nobody. The windows here are not boarded. That's probably where the bedrooms are, because that's where people sleep upstairs, away from the rats usually. Okay, let me remove 1 party token. Make him 1. Oh no! I don't want that. I don't want that. I want this. I don't want that. I don't want this. I don't want that. What the? As you go up the stairs, the panels creak beneath your feet. It's still dark despite the windows here not being boarded up. The curtains are drawn though. Up ahead, all the way at the end, the final door slowly creaks open, inviting you in. So,
This one?
the one in the back, yes, yeah. Like end of the hallway.
Oops. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. I was trying to drag it back to the...
Toots.
Yeah.
Something wet landed on your nose.
Yeah.
Like a drop of something.
Tap, tap. Flashlight. Is
How do I
it?
get rid of this?
Everyone who looks at her notices she has like a drop of something red on her nose.
Miss, you got
Which
something on your
immediately
face.
has Jane looking up.
Looking
with
up,
Dwight.
there is a. So normally when fluids drip through ceilings, they don't work like this. They're not just like a puddle that's on the ceiling. There's this puddle of red on the ceiling, and at very specific places above you specifically, the blood drips down as
Eh,
the smell of iron fills your air, your nostrils.
shining my light at it. Eh,
It reflects because it is fluid.
First thing that Jane's doing is she's going to quickly holster her gun, go into that old spy kit she carries around, withdraw one of her old small cameras to get a picture of it,
You take a spy shot.
which quickly disappears back inside of her long coat.
Handsome. Anyone else want to do anything with this? Because the longer you stand on these stairs, the longer you're going to get bathed in whatever this
We
stuff is.
She
no,
moves
I'll,
immediately afterwards.
Yeah, I'm going up. I want to get covered in that crap.
I'll probably buy the second door.
Marvelous. Well, the third door is the one that beckoned you, but there are 3 other doors in this area.
What do you think, Miss Jameson?
Well, she's going to go quiet for a moment and try to listen to see if she hears any more movement.
Roll me a listen check.
Go get my number. Okay, I got a 50.
If that's below your listen, then you will hear something maybe. Is it?
20.
Cool. In that case, pricking your ears, you hear, like, you know, listen, everyone knows what this sound is. The sound of a bed, like, screeching across the floor briefly. Like that.
Oh, God, yeah.
You hear that coming from the last door.
Hank.
Maybe. Yeah, Hank goes forward and looks at the door. Is the door like locked at all?
No, they're all open. It's a
Alright.
bedroom.
Jane's going to be on your side, providing light and keeping her gun at the ready.
I've drawn my
He-
45.
All right, he grips the nods at y'all, and then pushes the door open.
Inside, you find a bed frame, spare bed springs, and a dresser. The unused the room looks like, well, it mentions the other 2 bedrooms because it assumes you're doing a systematic check, but it is a bedroom. That much is clear. As you enter, the window rustles as if someone had quickly jumped out.
And Jane's going to rush to the window and look out of it.
Exactly. You rush towards the moving windows. Everyone else, where are you as this happens?
Well, I'm at the door and doorway, I would guess, because I opened the door and then Spy Lady ran in.
Toots.
I am behind Mr. Hall.
You all watch as something terrifying happens. Because suddenly, the bed jumps up towards your friend. Can you make me a spot hidden check as you are doing this? Because the bed makes no sound, but you might be able to pick it up in the corner of your eye that it's suddenly moving towards you, lady.
12.
You can roll me dodge now. If you didn't, you would have just been smacked out. You suddenly turn around, notice the bed. Quick, do something. Dodge.
20.
You dive towards the ground with reckless abandon. Is that a hard success, actually?
That is a hard success for me.
Cool. In that case, you avoid hitting any of the nails on the way down, because this is kind of a dingy room. You dive towards the floor as the bed flies towards you. It crashes into the wall with high speed. Not like fast like a car, but still like if it hit you, you would have been thrown out the window with the glass too. The bed settles down on the ground. Everyone gets to make me a sanity check, because everyone watched this happen.
That was pretty scary, actually.
I passed that one.
If you succeed this one, you lose 1 sanity. If you fail this one, you lose 1d4 sanity. I'll roll for you when it's time.
I have failed.
Cool. Mr. Prospero, would you please like to roll the gang your 40? Oh man, you poor guy. Hey, you made it. What a hero. However, you are all still spooked. I don't know if it's... We're just going to go with if you lose sanity at all, you're always like slightly spooked.
Well, I'm spooked because I'm now on the ground.
I think Bella messed up big time. Bella,
Yeah.
you lose...
Oh,
So, quick note, Bella.
F me sideways.
Could you please make note of how many sanity points you started with today? And how much is 1/5 of that? Because if you ever cross the 1/5 threshold, I'm gonna have to ask you something. Just a wink and a smile. The bed settles down on the ground. You are all, for one turn, completely like frozen in fear at the fact that a bed just flew up. Then, however, you honestly, wait. Oh, cool! Wow, that's hilarious. Once you have a moment to sit down, it looks like the bed, like there's some planks that flew up, so the bed might have been just propelled by the floorboards.
Wait, don't you control me for a round or something?
Yeah, and you all just frozen in fear as this happened, which
Ah.
confirms, if anything, that the bed isn't just going to keep moving. And as you all observe the situation, it might have just been some sort of trap, because there are like these two planks like standing right up now that probably just threw the bed. It's all perfectly explainable. Probably.
Mr. Hill, do you see any mechanism this could be set off by?
Hank,
Mr. Hill.
little shuddering from like that event. Also shuddering by the cool cartwheel thing you just did there. That was interesting.
Mr. Hill, would you award me some mechanical repair as you try to investigate the situation? I mean, I can tell you that there is no obvious mechanisms, but with mechanical repair, I can tell you for certain whatever there are, in fact, any mechanisms at all. Because no one sees anything. But hey, let's go. Oi.
Oh my god.
Would you like to push the roll?
Guys.
You can push the roll if you want to. You might hurt yourself on all that rusty wooden board, but hey.
Well, I want to see my mechanical repair is 60. Yeah, I'm gonna push the roll. I haven't done that before.
Show us the
yet.
goods. Don't forget, you can just push the up arrow and it'll immediately grab the last roll you made.
Up arrow.
Yeah, we click
On
the
your
chat
keyboard.
box and you push up and then it automatically takes whatever rolls in order. So that's really nice, ain't it?
Honestly, Foundry is super convenient for some things.
Claire, roll me please. Click chat, push the up arrow, and then, yeah. Jesus!
Yeah, I didn't learn.
Super success!
I become Jigsaw.
Okay, so you like stumble for me, you're like, I don't see any, and all of a sudden you just go like Sherlock mode. Like you
Hank.
see the mechanism.
While everyone else might go, the mechanism is probably hidden. This is not mechanical. This wood is way too soft to push that bed without snapping at the base. The fulcrum isn't good. This bed launched itself.
The only possible thing is what we all saw and what you experienced. This bed tried to eat you.
Paul in the back is like, as he tries to straighten himself out, takes a extra big swig. Oh, all right. I think I'm starting to see why some people might go a little bit weird around here. But we need to do something. We need to do something
Should we do something?
Should do something.
before the house eats us, preferably.
Hank nudges the bed frame with Peggy.
It's
See
a
if it does anything.
it's a rusty old bed frame. It doesn't seem too interested in pushing anyone out of any windows.
Jane is going to go and take a quick look out that window from the side of it, so she's not directly in front of it this time.
You point your flashlight down, and even from here you can tell that no disturbances in the mud or the grass. There was no one down there. That rustling was all probably just the wind. Although this is like smushed between several tall apartment buildings, there isn't much wind here.
We should check the next rooms.
Checking the other rooms, you find a child's bedroom in the middle.
Oh, that's haunted.
No, that's probably from the previous occupants because they had children.
That's mega haunted.
Listen, just because I killed the occupants' children doesn't mean that their room becomes haunted. Anyway, the room contains 2 small beds, toys, and dressers, pictures of aircraft, and cowboys. Mark this as a children's bedroom. The main bedroom, which assumes that you've done some investigating, you haven't. It's an ordinary bedroom with a double bed, bookshelf, and a window view. More crosses and many candles are here, and a rosary and breviary rest on the table beside the bed. On the nightstand. That's a nightstand. Never heard of a breviary, though.
Huh.
Apparently it's a short prayer.
Yep, the reverie, yep.
Often capitalized, a book of prayers hymns. Okay, cool. Read during the canonical hours. Cool. The final small chamber is a bathroom. Because, hey, the bathroom contains a sink, bathtub, and a water closet with an overhead tank. Wow, that's fancy. Towels and other possessions are still here, typical for a family of 4. A brackish pool of water has collected in the bathtub, from a dripping faucet that cannot be quite closed off.
Too bad you're not a plumber.
So what was this one?
I'm not.
The bathroom?
The smallest room all the way next to the stairs is the bathroom. The one
Okay.
before the child's room is the adult's bedroom.
Probably check the adult's bedroom then.
There you go.
I'm going to
Also,
investigate the
lady who was
master
in that
bedroom.
room was in that fancy room a bit ago. That room smelled very foul while you were there. So, what do you want to do? What do you think's the answer to solving this conundrum? You haven't checked the basement though. There is an extra set of stairs behind that door.
Basement should probably be last, because that'll be where the most haunted it probably is.
That's how these things work, as far as I'm aware.
Hankill taps his gun, though. Watch out for beds, though. I don't trust him now.
Luckily, basements are where you most likely not to find beds.
Until the 1990s. Then your 30-year-old son stays there all the time.
Hey.
God damn it! I should stop having children. My bathroom is all full.
But
Jeez.
I'm going to investigate the master bedroom.
You creak into the master bedroom. The signs of all the rosaries is uncanny. But then your eye catches something else that's hanging in this room. It's... Imagine someone made a noose that hung from the ceiling. And then someone took a rat and they tied them by the tail to that noose. It's a very strange sight.
Is the rat alive?
It doesn't seem to be moving now.
I'm going to avoid making contact with that for the moment. Because that seems like a trap.
Handsome.
The
Move
rat
on.
is forever lost in the sauce.
So I'm going to check the rest of the room, see if there's anything else possibly hidden that isn't a suicide rat noose.
I'm gonna pull Mr. Peterson into child's bedroom because, yeah, an adult ghost I don't trust. If it's a child ghost, I mean,
You can be like, I'm an actress. You check out
I'm-
the child's playroom. Small metal toys of planes and cowboys are here, as well as those small little beds.
staying away from the beds, but I'll examine the little knick-knacky toys and whatnot. And just,
They're knick-knacky as heck. But, you know,
Yeah.
kids be kids. They like their little things.
Yeah, I'm
Hank,
sticking
you
the
went with her
spies.
into the child bedroom, right? That's who you took with you?
no, I took Mr. Peterson. I thought Hank was
Yeah,
with
Hank's with
dad.
me.
Yeah, I'm
Who
with
the hell is
Hank-
Mr.
yeah, I'm with,
Peterson?
Paul Peterson.
Paul Prospero.
Prospero.
Duh.
Okay, I'm done.
Mr.
Also,
Prospero,
after doing that cartwheel dodge, I'm imagining I'm Ada Wong.
Mr. Prospero, like taps your shoulder as he points up, because there's, you know, those airplanes that hang from a string that like swing around in circles. There's one doing that
Okay.
over your head.
Oh,
Oh god, I always wanted one of those as a kid.
He's like, I didn't do that.
well, I didn't do it. Is there a child ghost here?
Do you have a Luigi board?
Do you have a Luigi
No,
board?
those just make them angry. And also, I don't think they were invented yet.
To be fair, the reason they get angry at us because it's like, dude, don't try to talk to me through a fucking child's walkie-talkie.
Don't bring in a goddamn Parker Brothers toy. Oh wait, no, they were invented in 1890.
So technically, you can have a Luigi board.
You could have a Luigi board.
The toy slowly stops spinning, and he goes, "Okay, sorry, that was technically me. That was me.
I did that.
Not
Listen.
the time for jokes.
Listen, I was just making sure the thing worked. I wasn't gonna fly at anyone." All right. I'm gonna go downstairs. I don't want to be upstairs when this floor collapses, because clearly this floor does whatever it wants. Did you see those planks? I don't like. He just backs out of the room. And goes, I don't like any of that. In the meantime, the people in the master bedroom, the smell in this room gets increasingly acrid the longer you stay around. It gets very acidic and stale the longer you stay.
So it's very icky in here.
Hi, Alice. We're doing Call of Cthulhu.
Oh. Okay.
We love you, though.
So yes, the longer you stay in the master bedroom, the ickier the smell. So that's how you add notes, huh?
Well, I didn't seem to notice anything that was out of the ordinary aside from everything.
And this bed doesn't look like it's gonna come at you.
Neither did the other one.
Maybe you can't move things that have mattresses.
The mattresses are anti-magic.
See, that's the part that the priests don't want you to know.
Yeah, I mean, all you need is a mattress.
All I need is love, kids. Marvelous. Well, you hear
Yeah,
the
so I
creaking of the
guess I'll go
stairs.
along.
For a minute, you might think that it's a ghost, but it's actually Paul going down.
Paul's out of here.
Well, I
Damn
suppose
it.
we shall go downstairs.
Paul's like checking out the basement. It's just to say, he's standing at the door leading to the basement and is like poking a flashlight down, like squinting really hard to see what's down there. He then, as you come down, he points out like, this. Look at this. Lock 3 bolts, and it opens from the outside. Whatever's down there might be what we're looking for.
Well,
Why is it always the basement?
because like you said, ghosts are apparently heavier than air, so they are carried to the center of gravity.
Normally, ghosts like to hang out where they're killed, so be glad that didn't happen, or you'd be stuck in that dingy room, huh? He starts to slowly make his way down. The second he does, let's see. Okay, cool. Mr. Prospero has to roll me a check. Because as he walks down, you start seeing...
He explodes.
You don't know why. He just starts to wobble on the stairs. It's like, whoa, whoa.
I'm gonna catch him. Blah.
You watch him, like, tumble down, but he manages to catch himself on the way down and not take any injury. It's like, frick. Man. God
Did
damn
you
it.
hold the handrail?
He has to roll me a 1d100 because he might break... Yep, okay, he doesn't break his flashlight on the way down. There is no handrail. It's just a stair.
It's just some stairs.
God. Be careful,
This
the
is
stairs
not-
are treacherous as all hell.
I'm honestly surprised you're still okay.
But luckily I'm wearing this thick coat, or I'd be hurt by all this debris on the floor.
I'll
See,
help out
this is why
Mr.
we have
Prospero.
coats.
Are you gonna come down and help an old man up, or what?
Yeah,
I'm going down.
I'll come down, help Mr.
He's like 50
Prospero.
years old, actually, so yeah, he does qualify
He's
for
only
help
a
me
few
up.
years older than me.
Yeah, but he's a man who drinks a lot. All right,
How
kids.
old am I?
It says on your
Uh,
sheet.
Everyone who goes down
I'm
these stairs must
35.
roll a dex climb combined check, which means if you succeed at either dexterity or at climbing, you'll make it down safely. If you take any particular precautions before going down, you'll have a bonus die, which means you get to roll the tens die twice and take the better result. So Mr. Prospero did politely inform you as to the fact that this is a problem. So
it's either Dex or Climb.
no,
it's
actually,
both.
roll a combined check, which means that if you succeed at either, you succeed at the whole thing.
Okay, I have to try to fail this one with my dex skill.
Please do.
Wow, I actually did.
Oh my
Push
goodness.
that.
Bella,
I succeeded.
Okay, I was gonna say,
Everyone
if
makes
you
it down
push that,
safely.
you just,
However,
fall down the stairs.
the old spy, the years catch up with you at some point, and after all this, you're just a little bit too shaken that one of your little whoa caused you to flip a little further than you were expecting. But other than that, things are fine. You arrive in an area that is about as big as the kitchen plus a little extra. In terms of the length of the house, width it's the same. Let me just draw it out for you, a real lickety dang split. I'll draw it down a little bit further south so you can all enjoy my artwork. Oh, no, that's not the drawing tool.
Sappy Drawing time. Draw me a bait.
Baby bait.
Uh,
I
go
probably
down
am
the
sore
basement.
after dodging that, Claire.
Yeah, if we go into the basement, there's just like shark bait waiting on like a little pedestal saying, "So, you finally made it."
Here we go. Well, here we are. All the way at the bottom. There's all kinds of trash around here. It's a smallish room with scattered tools, pipe, trash can lid, lumber, nails, screws, garbage. There's also a locked, like a boarded up door over to the north. Paul is like, anyone got a crowbar?
Yeah,
I
so
have a
it's just a bit
sledgehammer.
ago.
Cool. Let's see if we can pop this one open, huh? Hank, you look like you could open that door with these. Go ahead and give it a go.
All right, do I roll for this or do I just like?
Considering you have a bonus die with a crowbar and, you just fucking crack that door open.
Yeah, I smacked that thing open.
Okay, where's everyone in the room,
Oh.
approximately?
Oh.
Something
I'm
might
probably
happen.
behind these two.
Cool. Because we're going to enter proper combat for once. The
Oh
question,
boy.
however, is if one of you notices something is off before you get shanked. Because surprise in Call of Cthulhu is vicious. You basically get an automatic hit.
I might notice because I'm,
I actually need to look up something very specific for this because there is a limit to what can happen, and I need to make sure I got that limit set up. God damn it, where is this guy? There he is. How many does he have? Where is your fucking stat sheet, motherfucker? There it is. Cool.
I'd
Cool.
probably be by Mr. Prospero.
Okay, awesome. So, you and Prospero, you know what? You get to roll me that spot hidden check.
Okay.
Prospero
Ta-da.
gets to make this one, but he has to roll a hard check because he's not paying attention. To what? Oh gosh. Oh god, that's almost a fumble if he didn't have as good as he did.
I didn't make it either.
You watch as Mr. Paul next to you suddenly cries out in pain.
Mr. Prospero, no!
He goes, "Oh, He tumbles down to the ground, his flashlight dropping on the ground. It clinks and clanks, and in the shimmer of the light, you see a floating knife. Rusty old knife with a weird handle and a strange carving on it. Mr. Prospero takes 1d4 plus 1 damage. However, because he's wearing such a thick coat, he takes 1... Oh. That means he does not take a major wound, but he does, fall to the ground going, ah!
Welcome back, Zai.
Everyone, please roll me some sanity checks, as seeing the knife move makes you unnerved.
Mr. Prospero was attacked by a
Yes,
floating
while
knife.
you were busy trying to take care of this door and to figure out how to get in there, a knife suddenly levitated off the ground and got him in the back. There's a knife hovering. Can everyone please roll me sanity?
I succeed.
As I'm pretty sure that Paul just shouting makes you all a
I
little
failed.
unnerved.
Alright, let me.
That's is
that a pass? Wait,
if it's lower than your current sanity, then you succeed.
yeah, okay.
Handsome. Everyone who succeeds loses 1 sanity. I think I'm just gonna say that if you succeed, you're fine. If it's just 1 sanity, because that's you keep it together, but you're a little unnerved. Everyone who failed loses 2 points of sanity. It's what the Jesus! First the bed and now the knife. Although since you already saw the bed, the knife's not as scary as the bed. Also, it's a knife.
I think the knife is scarier than the bed.
Welcome to combat, kids.
I don't know, that thing looked like a bear trap.
I don't know how the hell you're gonna fight a fucking knife, but it wants to fight you.
I'm gonna kick your ass.
I don't know if you want to kick a knife's ass. Just gonna say that
Okay. So, how do we determine who goes first?
combat works in the simplest way possible. The person with the highest dex goes first.
So, me.
There's one thing, though. If you have a gun in your hand, and the
Yep.
only thing I want to do when you're trying to shoot that gun, add 50 to your dex.
I probably put my gun at my side and.
Yeah, you were busy taking care of a door. You don't have your gun yet ready. All right, so lady, you have your Luger. What do you do?
Okay, so the knife's just floating there. Is it within arm's reach of me?
What do you mean with an arm's reach?
Can I just grab it?
So, how does this work? Okay, so there is this one thing. 1/5 of your dex is this special range within which a whole bunch of weird stuff happens. You know what? I'd say that you could probably get over there, walk over. You have a move. You can move and take an action, like in 5e.
Okay, yeah, I want to walk over there and just grab it.
So what's your move rate? It's under your POW and next to your education at the top of your characteristics.
9.
Section. I'd say you could definitely just jump over there and go for the knife. What do you want to do with it? You want to punch it?
I'm gonna just hold the knife and try and stick it in something made of wood, so it doesn't move very much.
Okay, handsome. Well, let's start off with the Knights and Simples. Can you roll me a brawl check? Fighting brawl.
I have skill in that.
As you try to quickly grab...
I succeed by 1.
Cool. The knife's gonna roll, I think, a dodge. How good is this knife? How good is this knife at dodging? Gosh, I gotta find fucking...
I mean, it is a knife, so possibly fairly good.
Well, just because it's a knife doesn't mean it's good as dodging. It has a dodge of 17. So here's how contested rolls work. I'm just gonna tell you, you succeed. You succeed. The way contested rolls work is the initiator has what's called the advantage. If you fail a roll, nothing happens. If you succeed a roll, and Yeah. Okay. Here we go. If you succeed the roll and they succeed, you still hit. I think, or is it? It doesn't matter. Point is, it's kind of fancy. Like you have to exceed their roll. I think. So the better you are at a skill, the more likely you are to get at least a success. The less likely you are to succeed. So that's kind of fun. Point is, you grab the knife. Everyone else, what do you do? Except for the one person who failed their sanity check. They're like, oh no. Paul's on the ground. He's holding his wound, but he'll be fine for now.
Well, it looks like the spy got the knife. Keep that.
How do you know what
thing
my
on
job
hold.
was?
Yeah, I mean, okay. That lady.
You know her by name.
Keep that. I keep forgetting her name because I'm so bad with names.
Jane
My
Jonah
brain's-
Jameson.
J. Jonah Jameson.
It's just
J.
4
J.
J's.
Keep a hold of that thing. I mean, I'm wanting to help out our buddy. I'm gonna pick him up because he fell on the floor.
Just as a quick notice, keeping this knife under control will be a post-strength check when that comes around.
That is why I shoved it in the wall to make it harder for it.
Well, we'll take care of that on your turn, because first you have to get a hold of it, and that thing ain't gonna sit still, so it takes your whole turn to grab it. Does Lady Francine want to do anything?
I thought I was scared.
Yeah, you're scared. What do you think's appropriate for the current context when you see a knife move? How would you respond? Would you be frozen in place? Would you be like, ah, heck, and you jump, or slip and fall, or break a heel? Are you holding something?
I mean, she was holding the flashlight and her 45. So.
Drop me your flashlight and roll me a luck check to see if it breaks. It's a 1920s.
Oh, hecky, that
What's your
knife.
luck score?
Let me see my luck.
35.
Score. 35. So it breaks.
Your flashlight hits the ground and snaps. The room gets a bit darker. And the only thing you have is Prospero's flashlight on the ground. And now I think this guy has the knife has 35 dex, so it goes probably after everyone else because I rolled all your sheets. I know what you're like. The knife is going to make an opposed POW check because it wants to get the hell out of here and start shanking people already.
Oh, it's so weird to hear that knives want things.
The knife has feelings, and it's very, very upset. The knife has a POW check of 90. Oof. Can you please roll me an opposed strength check against a hard success? You need to roll hard on your strength, or it slips free.
It is gone.
The knife
It
slips
got
out.
out.
It dances through the air. It looks it eagerly starts to move towards you to get you in the neck. Your turn again, however. Do something quick.
Okay. So it's just right there. I'm gonna shoot it.
I'm
I'm
just
gonna
gonna,
cap a knife.
I don't know how strong a knife is, but I imagine it has like. I think doesn't that just mean it's its own? Oh man, this is weird. Shooting a knife. All right, you go ahead and shoot me a knife. It can't try to attack you because it's close enough.
I'm gonna shoot. I'm gonna attack it first.
Yeah, it's gonna roll an opposed.
Shoot you before you stab me.
I think that's a success versus, or no, that's a failure versus a success. Well, it manages to avoid getting hit. It is a fucking knife, man. What are you trying to do? All right, between Hank and Francine, who has the higher dex? I think Hank is actually slower. Francine, what do you do?
I'm
45.
at 50. I'm gonna try to grab the knife.
All right, you can roll me your fighting brawl, and okay, cool. Let's roll that miniature dodge it has. It fails. You grab the knife firmly. In fact, I think that's a hard success. You really got a good grip on that knife. Hank, what do you do when you see this? Paul props himself up against the wall. Is like, don't worry about me. Get that knife stuck somewhere. Put a coat on it.
I'm going to go in and assist that lady and grab the knife and slam it into a wall, or wooden object. Or
Hank,
anything.
can you roll me a strength check just to show everyone that you are a strong man? Please roll me your strength check.
Right.
Or fighting brawl if you want to. It could be either.
I roll strength.
No,
I think that's a critical success on you, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Strength
That is
85.
a extreme success, technically. You grab the knife, Francine.
Let me help you out.
Your friend puts his hands over yours, and you're like, oh, fuck, I forgot how massive this man is. And he swings it into the wall.
I
Slam.
think I'm technically stronger than him, but yeah.
He's
Are you
technically...
stronger than him?
Listen, he is stronger, but you are stronger by 5 because I rolled a perfect 18 when I was rolling stats somehow.
Yeah, but I'm a little lady in the 20s.
But Hank has like a whole bunch more mass on you. He's like 80. He's like one of the biggest men you've ever seen.
Yeah.
So Hank throws this knife into the wall, and it just sticks there. It's like several inches into the wood. And technically, combat is now over. The your friend is still kind of bleeding.
Let me see if I have any medicine.
So, does anyone want to roll me some spot hidden? Because Paul's flashlight might be lighting up an interesting clue.
Well, I'm gonna take out mine in a bit, but I'll roll some spot hidden because I'm really good at that one.
Over here, you can see my mouse cursor dot, right?
Yes, I can.
Yeah,
Over
I
here,
can't.
there are. So most of the basement is like floor panels that have been clicked together. Here, however, one of the floor panels is distinctly loose. Secret basement.
That is something I would probably pick up.
Basement, basement, basement.
Does anyone here have first aid? Would you like to please help your friend by at least putting some bandages on his injury?
I have it.
Cool. Roll. Go ahead and roll me. Whoever
Roll
here
for
thinks
shit,
they can
too.
provide first aid.
Who has the best first aid? Because we'd probably know this about each other.
I got 40 in it.
Hank is 50 because he had to patch a whole bunch of his boo-boos.
We're the same, so I'll check that thing out and you do the fixing up.
All right. I kill him.
Push it, push it, push it.
You push it, please. I would like to point out that is not a fumble because it's double zeros that's a fumble for you since your skill is 50 or above.
Why is? Okay, one second. I'm having some technical difficulties. Firefox.
Listen, Paul is a small man.
Okay.
Cool. Oh, that's actually a hard
Just reach down to him.
that's actually a hard success. So you give Paul 1 hit point back because healing in the same Paul Cthulhu, he gets 1 hit point back and the bleeding stops. He's like, thank you. Hey, what you got there, JJ?
I think I just found in a hidden area.
Popping the thing
So we
off, you see a small passage. A whole swarm of rats comes out. Like squeak,
Yeah.
squeak, 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 squeak. They run up the stairs. Through it, just taking a quick peek, is a large chamber.
How did
It's
they get
it's
this
filled
past zoning?
it's filled with moss, and the smell is atrocious. You might have found the problem, because you're pretty sure that sitting in this smell, maybe people just went mad because they smelt too much corpse. I don't know. You can't see everything in the room, but there's definitely room there. You have to crawl through a bit, but there you go.
Oh, we may have found something.
You may have found. This is technically like the last room in the house, unless there's like more. There's a whole tunnel system under the city.
I mean, I've been in
Was that
Boston.
not
Probably
gonna-
was.
Paul is
So-
gonna sit out here. He's like, okay, you guys go in there and take care of that worker. I'll sit on this wound for a bit. How about that?
You rest well, man.
You do that.
Oh, keep watch in case the knife tries to move again. He's tightly clenching his magnum, holding on that knife. Like, you try to do that again, boy.
I got my eyes on you, knife.
Water drips from the ceiling in this dark, dingy basement. As you look at a hole in the wall that leads into a place that hardly looks like it was even constructed, it just looks like a hollow in the earth.
Well, going.
You slip
go
into
with
a
you.
room where I need to look up. Here we go.
45 at the ready.
This room is
I got
filled
my
with moss.
flashlight up now.
It is filled with moss and whispers, but what really gets your attention, lying motionless and seemingly dead on a pallet in the center of the room, is a drawn, wooden-looking, wizened figure of some 6 feet, skinny and naked, with ghastly, wide-flaring, saucer-like eyes and a nose like a knife blade. Some sort of chain hangs around his neck. It's a necklace, basically. He has lost all hair, and his sunken gums make his teeth look very long. From him comes a sharp, sweet, churning scent like rotten corn. The floor is earthen here, and the table in the southwest corner has some curled papers on it. So,
you want to check it out?
I'm going to the papers. Oh,
at this point, I assume you're not in the room fully yet. You're like sitting in the hallway, looking around. So, shall we enter then?
yeah.
I'm gonna enter.
I'll be behind Miss Jameson.
Handsome. As you enter the room, the body begins to move.
I thought so.
Sandy
Cap it.
checks, please.
Cap it.
Well, the sandy checks happen before initiative technically starts, so please roll me sandy again.
Yeah, 2.
You are like
I got it.
you are
Do
you
I
are
take-
top spy mode. Let's kick some ass. Hank, however, has seen too many things move today. Everyone who makes the check loses 1 sanity. Don't forget, if you lose more than 1/5 of what you started the day with, that's bad.
Wait, can I? Do I not lose any because I got a friggin' 2? That's like a super success.
If you roll a 1, I would have given it to you, but technically Sandy doesn't have that. Like this wears on you. Too bad, because there is a fun rule that I like. If you lose more than 5 sandy points from a mythos creature, you make an in check. If you make the in check, you gain 5 Cthulhu mythos because you are like, oh fuck, this is bad. This is real. So if you wonder, if you're a non-believer, that's how you become a believer, even if you don't want to, because that's the part where your brain puts it together and it's like, this makes no sense, and it does. And then you go insane for a while, and that, oh man, I had planned for I get to go insane, but hey, no one wants to be a loser. Point is, Hank, you are gonna spend your turn being like, oh no, what else? This is an affront to God. And in fact, you're gonna probably spend your turn grabbing one of your friends and yelling about how this is an affront to God. Okay, lady who's going first. Still 35 dexterity, because this is the guy who was animating the knife, so using his dex. You had your gun out, right?
Yes,
Would you like to fire it at him?
that is the goal.
Fucking shoot him. Blast him. Roll me firearms. Pistols.
That is a success with my pistol.
That is a success. Your-
Regular is 60.
Please roll me the damage for your firearm. It should mention that under the section. I think your Luger's a 1d10.
Yep.
Your weapon discharges, and instantly the bullet slams into his body. However, what gets you is that, okay, but first, technically you can't dodge a firearm. That's the fun part. You
They
can
are
dive for cover,
fast.
but there is no cover for him. So something seems to be shielding him because your bullet slams into him, and some of the bark skin crumbles off, but he doesn't seem in any way impeded by this. And he's also still moving. Ah! Francine, do something quick.
I'm
The
gonna take
corpse,
a shot.
the corpse is moving and coming towards you.
That is a miss, I believe.
Yes,
Yeah.
if it's not below your number, then you fail.
The blah. Then I'm just
Hank grabs Francine right next to her and is like, "This is an affront to God. This is not propane or propane accessories." So say Hank Hill. At that point, Mr. Walter Corbett gets off. Not off, he gets up. Moves over.
Maybe, but
He's naked. You can see the shriveled part. Ew. He's going to walk straight over. Which one of you is closest to him? Or do you want to roll me a luck check to see who that is?
gonna.
if I had to guess who's closest, I'd say Hank.
Well, no, I thought Miss Jameson came out first, then I did, then Hank.
Oh yeah, you'd be behind me.
Yeah,
Okay, then.
So,
So someone is currently trying to attack you. You can do 2 things. You can fight back, which means you roll fighting. The problem with this is, whereas dodging you just need to meet or exceed, if you fight back, you get to fuck him up. But if you fail or meet, he wins. And he gets to do his attack. So what do you want to do? He's coming out. His claws are out. He's going to rake you with both of them if he gets a chance.
So one option was fight back. What was the other one?
It's dodge.
So that'd be brawl or dodge.
Brawling or dodge, yes. Unless you have
go
a...
for the dodge.
Gonna go for the dodge. Okay, cool. He's gonna roll a 50% hit chance on this fancy-ass thing. Ooh. That
So he gets
is...
the hit.
No, I think you managed to dodge, because that is a success on both, right?
No, because my dodge is 60.
Ah. In that
That's
case, he's
close.
going to roll 1d4 and 1d3. 1d3 because that's what brawling does, and 1d4 because he's big strong. In case you want to know, he has 90 strength, and he is like pretty... Is he big? Oh, it's actually 55. I guess it's mostly his strength that makes him so dangerous. He's like 4 points of damage. JJ, that is not half your hit points, so don't worry about that.
Where do I mark my health?
as in hit.
Yes, there's a
Above
section hit points
okay.
under your
So I'm at
invest.
7. Okay.
Okay, cool. This man is slobbering at you as his nails are ooh, ugh. Quick, do something. He's like right in front of you. You can hit him real good like this. He's a point blank. So he's so close now. Okay, here it goes. If someone is within 1/5 your deck range, he is considered in point blank range, and you get a bonus die, which again means you get to roll the 10s die twice and take the better result. So, would you like to do something as this man is slobbering all over you?
Yeah, I want to just like go for the face.
I think there's one thing though. I think shooting in melee is a penalty, but we'll roll for now. He's like right on top of you, and you're like trying to. You can roll me that D10 again. Oh man, that's. Wait,
Really?
what? You know, how about we just do this a bit differently? Okay, sure, we'll just go with that. Just roll with advantage. I think that's a critical success. Nope,
Let me check my gun.
that is. If you spend a point on.
That is a hard succeed.
No, it's you know what? I'm gonna give you this. So in there's a fun thing in pulp, which we're gonna be using, where you can spend luck as a 1-to-1 to increase your roll. Spend one, you can get an extreme success.
Yeah, because I'm one away from extreme.
Okay.
So I will spend a luck.
Just so that you can see how fun that system is. You're gonna run out fast, but in pulp you get it back so fast, man. It's great. You
How do you get it back?
So how do you, at the end of the session, at the end of like a situation, you roll against luck, but in pulp it goes a bit faster. But let's just focus on what's important now, development phase, which isn't relevant for this. So when you roll a critical success, an extreme success, using a piercing weapon, max damage on the first die. Then you roll again.
So 10.
Roll me a d10 for damage.
Wow, I just keep rolling through.
Just
for
fucking
damage.
blammo. That's 16 total. Oh god, this guy takes him. All of the bark just cracks under the pressure of this blast going right at him in his chest. He has a hole in it, but he's still moving. And honestly, oh man, this man starts to shout at you that he will
Whoa,
destroy
crazy.
you.
You don't have lungs. How are you shouting at me?
He does have lungs. Well, his lungs got
They're
blown
on
out.
They're on that wall behind you.
Francine, he looks like he's
Yeah.
gonna tear your friend's face off real bad in the moment.
I'ma shoot him.
Don't forget you have a bonus die, so you can roll me twice. Because the ones die never does anything. Roll me damage, which with your 45 automatic is 1d10 plus 2. The monster slobbers, its horrible eyes reflecting light brightly at you.
So that's 10 damage.
Jane,
Gotcha.
those teeth are getting awfully close. Hank, what do you do? You've gotten your nerve senses back, but you need to do something. That guy is very close to.
Well, we're in close quarters. Hank's gonna get a sledgehammer.
Okay, you
This
take
is a
you take your
very
sledge out.
big
What do you do?
combat.
I'm gonna bash him in the head.
Roll me fighting brawl, because sledgehammer is a simple weapon. Can you roll me your damage, which is 1d8 plus 2 plus 1d... I think it's actually 1d4, because it's the damage bonus.
It's 1d8 plus 1d4.
1d8 plus 2 plus 1d4. 1d6, sorry.
So
So 1d8, 1d6 plus 2. You whip this thing through the air. And just as J&J has to permanently commit to memory what the smell of this man's mouth is, the hammer comes crashing down. Please, roll me the damage. Show us all what it's like. That's a hard hit. The hammer cracks his skull open on the way down.
When we put the hammer down?
His body twitches on the floor. Oh, I forgot. You also get a bonus die for outnumbering him, because every time someone rolls a defensive roll, they take a penalty on it. Well, I don't think he's gonna. Well, you know what? Let's see. Maybe he rolls that 1d100 on that dodge check. No, of course not, because it's fucking 17%. Hank, no blood splatters out. This man just crumples, and his thick slime comes drooling out of his body.
Ooh.
And he twitches on the ground, kind of like a bug. when you like a cockroach, like he's still moving. You
I don't like that.
At this point, Paul's like peeking in through the hole. Goes, "What the hell's going on in there? You guys all right? You want me to call an ambulance?"
I think we found Mr. Corbin, Mr. Prospero.
Hell yeah. Is the problem solved?
Well, maybe.
It might as well be. Hank pokes the body twitchy thing with the sledgehammer.
So when you
That'll
when you
teach
poke
her
him,
in
like his
handling.
hand like shoots up and tries to grab your sledgehammer, but then immediately goes limp again and slops to the ground.
Ah,
Hank ain't dealing with that.
smack it again!
Let's see.
I give it a customary smack.
I
you know,
need
dealt with
to
that.
read some things. I need to make sure that destroying the body is enough to get rid of him. I think it is. If the investigator solved the mystery and overthrown Mr. Corbett, okay, cool. Yep. I guess you just have to destroy his body. Nice. Fun fact, there's totally an ending where you just lie to the guy. Cool. Everyone gets 1d6 sanity points back. You can roll in your own leisure.
Alright.
You get sanity back as you feel a little bit better about what happened. Kiara is like, there could be more of these. It doesn't feel
Probably
as...
is more of these.
I only got 2.
Hank, however, is like, I've done God's work.
You kind of did.
I'm feeling pretty good about myself. But tell you what. I'll tell you what.
What?
I'll tell you what.
Marvelous. Well, let's take a look-see. You want to check out that desk? You still feel like doing that?
Here, bring your flashlight over here, Miss Jameson.
All right, she says, not checking her arm for too long.
The papers on his desk are elaborate star sign and, like, all kinds of weird information. To put it bluntly, if this wasn't a one-shot, this is an adventure hook. It's supposed to make you go, ooh.
Yes.
But this is a one-off, so not too important. But it does look like this guy was up to something weird. Like, this is extremely elaborate astronomy. No astrology, because it's the fake kind.
It's
Oh.
the non-science.
I hate that the ology is the bad one. Well, as you stand here for a moment, you feel the house sort of... Suddenly it creaks and grinds as if it's partially imploding in on itself.
We might want to
Nope.
get out of here.
Running.
Yep, I'm out.
Everyone runs out of the house in a panic. Paul limping after you.
Well, I'm gonna pull Miss Prospero behind.
Well, you make it out of the
I'm
house.
leading
You come
it
to the
myself.
realization that it was just the house settling after
Mhm.
whatever was down there got... No, you should probably get that body cleaned up at some point, but hey. There was no blood falling on your face when you left, so that's nice.
And
Paul-
no beds tried to murder me.
Paul kind of goes, how about we just tell the guy that we solved the problem in there, and that I don't care if we actually solved the problem. We did a hell of a lot more than we could be expected to do for a couple of bucks.
We found an actual spookums.
You sure?
Most spoken of
Maybe he was just some weird old guy. Well, it doesn't really
I
matter.
shot a hole in his chest.
To be fair, I thought that happened after... Oh, whatever. Point is,
And then he yelled at me.
how about we just call it quits here? I think, like I said, we can just say that we solved it. And we can go home and enjoy the fact that we, I guess, solved an actual mystery.
Kudos
We
to the
all
occultism club.
somehow actually survived.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, 1d3 plus 1d4 is the damage he does, and that's not nothing. Those claws would have hurt a lot.
They did.
Yeah, that 4 damage would have been half my health if it hit me.
So, let me explain to you what the difference. If you take half your damage in one blow, that gives you a major wound, which means that when you go to 0, you become dying instead of unconscious, and dying is bad.
Don't do that.
So yes, well, you've done it. You've solved the game. You've
Huzzah.
had your little one-shot. That was nice.
Yeah,
I was.
I'm not too used to describing spooky environments, so I hope.
Well, and
Back
it was
to the
fun,
week.
and we shot the thing.
So
Mostly me.
here's what I'm gonna say as I slap my hands together. I can put together an Iron Claw one shot, so we can try that system out next week if you want to, or we can just go straight to Pulp Cthulhu, make your own characters, and see about the saga of Fortlandia.
Well,
I
I
think
like
it'd be fun to
Cthulhu,
try
but
Iron Claw.
Cool.
yeah, we should try it.
I'll make you guys some pre-gens. They're nice and simple. I'm still thinking on what actually the game's gonna be. I got an idea for a zombie, like you're stuck in a zombie house, but that doesn't feel like it has a lot of openness to feel like you poke at things. But we'll see.
Zombie Island.
Zombie Island. Oh man, I love hanging with a controller.
Yeah,
Oh,
there's an episode
thank you,
where
these
he
video
becomes
games are
addicted to
scaring
an
me.
MMO. It's actually a really good episode because he becomes addicted to online gaming.
Why is the fuck
He becomes
is King of the Hill so good?
There's all those weird shows that didn't deserve to be as good as it was.
It eventually rots away, but you know, because they focus less on Hank and more on Bobby. And yeah,
The command is poop.
Oh yeah,
Also, I like
I
how
like that one.
I also like how everyone was like 50 or 60, and like freaking Francine is 23.
I'm 44.
Well,
I'm
the
actually
Egghead guy
only
was in his
35.
30s. Like again, the fucking guy that no one played could have been very useful.
yeah, I am. See, I'm only 35. I'm a ripe young Hank Hill
Tim,
with my wife who's not named Peggy. My shotgun
your
is
gun.
named Peggy. Dog,
Well,
I'm where he's on my sledgehammer.
okay, so
not
since we're
shotgun,
doing the-
sledgehammer.
since we're doing the one-off, one thing. After that one-off, we're gonna decide if we're gonna do the Pulp Cthulhu thing or we're gonna do the Egyptian train thing. It's up to you.
I'm definitely. I mean, I'm already gonna say I'm definitely gonna lean towards Cthulhu because I like Cthulhu.
Do you like the system? You like the idea, or just the idea of
I
like
think-
a?
Well, it's the idea, and I actually like the system. It's been a while since I did Cthulhu. Like,
See, I
probably
told you I
better
can just
half
yell
of
at you
my
what you need to do, and it works out fine.
He's just screaming at me like, Claire, roll the check. I'm trying.
Well, no, I mean it. It's like this is legitimately. Here's something that I talked about on Twitter. Like I whined about is for all the shit 5e's like 5e's run. I disagree with the term that 5e's run, but what I really think. My brain took like 5 seconds to pause there. I don't know why. I do think that Call of Cthulhu has the prestigious honor of being even more so than Cypher being. You give someone the sheet, you can yell at them the whole session through what they need to do, and they need to know no rules. They can just run it.
Just
Even-
roll the button.
Even Cypher doesn't have that, because Cypher's all these weird idiosyncrasies in a couple of places. Cthulhu's just roll under. What do? Well, you roll under, kid. Thumbs up. Just roll under.
Mm.
Opposed checks,
Roll
I'll tell you what
fine.
happens. Don't worry.
We'll see. But it is almost 4 a.m. I'm
Yes.
probably gonna go try and get some sleep.
Yes.
Before
That's
Claire,
good.
did you like that picture, that commissioned picture that someone commissioned that I sent you? It's like the
Wait.
worst thing ever.
Wait, you sent me. Oh God, Alice. I'm not. Yeah, no.
That's-
It was the worst thing ever.
It's awful, but also like, I can't believe someone would do that.
Well, it's just the fact that they even drew it is one thing, but yeah. I actually know what the worst part is. I know who that artist is, and I'm
Hey.
gonna let you know a little secret. They're way worse. than
Before
you
we
think.
go, I do want to ask, how does Bella feel about Call of Cthulhu, the system? Did you like it?
Yeah, I like the whole you know, like the different type of skills, that are different from like Pathfinder or D&D, where like it's like, oh, you have your Reddit rating, or you have other skills. I completely forgot because I closed the sheet. So yeah,
Okay.
it has
Sila,
neat skills.
how do you feel about it?
Yeah. Overall, I think it's a good system. It's simple and it gives a lot of flexibility.
Cool.
You're not sitting
Okay.
there begging forever. How does my character work?
And
Who am
like-
I?
so far it sounds easy, a little easier like to get into the Iron Claw, because Iron Claw has multiple die.
Yeah, but that's just the. I think that game. Yeah, that involves a little bit more complex yelling. still better than something like 5e because one thing that you'll need to consider is not just how difficult is it to resolve an action, also how much do you have to yell at people about what an action is. Because in Call of Cthulhu, it's very simple. You just either do a fancy stunt, move around a bit, or you bonk someone and move around a bit. That's it. And Ironclad does have that moment where it has like discrete action types, so yeah, it does go up a step. 5e is worse because now you have distinct spells, discrete spells that define what you do.
Mhm.
So yes. Anyway,
Anyway,
you can go to
kiddos,
bed if you want to. Cause
Yeah.
Good night. I'll be on
Bye-bye.
Twitch for a little bit.
Good
thanks for
night.
being here, Claire. Thanks for everyone for being here. You're all great.
Yeah, it
fun.
was good. It was good.
By the way,
Oh
if,
boy.
if we're doing
Yes.
Call of Cthulhu, you can take these characters with you, but you'll have to adjust them a bit.
Okay.
I'll be fine with
So
that
did,
if I can
did
play.
you?
Because I might
Yes.
modify Jane, but I like her.
Yeah. Did you enjoy the game, Sepper?
I think that I've run a not bad Call of Cthulhu game. Third time's
Yeah.
the charm, baby.
Hey, I'm glad you feel as good because we all had fun.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, so good. Anyway,
I
good
hope
night.
Como will like the recording because he wants to see that.
Well,
No.
good night all.
Ba boop.
Boop.
Ba 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 ba.